The definition of torture, according to Amnesty International, is the systematic and deliberate infliction of acute pain by one person on another or on a third person in order to accomplish the purpose of the former against the will of the latter. This basically translates to inflicting pain on someone in order to make them do as you wish. This pain can be psychological. Take, for instance, white torture, a method of torture in which a person is left isolated until they start to lose personal identity. Torture can also be physical, such as mutilation of the body. Torture has always been prevalent in history. An obvious example would be the Middle Ages. You've probably learned in history classes about the torture methods used in those times to cause pain, injury, and sometimes death, usually to extract information or a confession from criminals or prisoners, but also as a form of punishment for crimes. These methods of torture range from dunking people accused of being witches in water, only to bring them up when they had either passed out or to allow them to confess, to murdering them by burning them alive. Criminals, or those seen to have done wrong, were treated in a disgustingly inhumane way. In summary, torture has, in history, been widely accepted and used as a form of punishment and as a way to extract confessions. However, this raises the question: does torture still happen today? The short answer is yes, despite the countless documents written that outlaw it. Torture still happens today. In 2015, Amnesty International surveyed the extent of torture worldwide and reported cases of torture in 122 countries spread across the world. It's used by governments as a method of interrogation and punishment, much like it was in the past. We'll be focusing on one particular country, North Korea. North Korea is an outlier in that it's isolated itself from the world. Despite this, however, outsiders have been able to catch a glimpse of what life inside North Korea is like from the testimonies of those who have escaped. One prisoner recounts, "An officer ordered me to select 50 healthy female prisoners. One of the guards handed me a basket full of soaked cabbage, told me not to eat it but to give it to the 50 women. I gave them out and heard a scream from those who had eaten them. They were all screaming and vomiting blood. In less than 20 minutes, they were dead." A chief of management at Camp 22 says, "I witnessed a whole family being tested on suffocating gas and dying in the gas chamber. The parents, son, and a daughter. The parents were vomiting and dying, but till the very last moment, they tried to save their kids." You have to be absolutely submissive to anything that was asked of you. If you asked questions about why you were there, you were immediately executed publicly, says a prisoner who was there for almost 30 years. Just from the words of these people, we can tell that North Korea has no regard for human rights. Torture isn't the only abuse of human rights that North Korea has dabbled in. For instance, one of the documents smuggled out of North Korea details the transfer of a prisoner to another camp for the purpose of human experimentation on chemical weapons. One of the most widely known camps is Camp 22. It's located in northeast North Korea, situated in a large valley and surrounded by mountains. In the 1990s, it was estimated that there were approximately 50,000 prisoners, most of them being people who criticized the government, people considered politically unreliable, or purged senior party members. Guards at the camp regarded the prisoners not as humans, but as slaves, according to a former guard. This meant that guards could kill prisoners at any time if they did not obey orders. So how does someone help? Well, by donating to NGOs rescuing North Korean refugees, we can help make these rescues possible. Liberty in North Korea is an organization based in Long Beach, California, who've dedicated their time into rescuing and aiding North Korean citizens. The best way to help is by getting involved. You could fundraise or start a rescue team. However, even spreading the word would help. In summary, the answer to our question is yes. Torture does still happen today, but there are ways to help put an end to it.